What's going on, my peoples? I go by the name the Sorcerer. Now I'm going to be doing a reading, and I'm going to pick a category. Um, and if it resonates, I hope it helps. If not, send it back to the universe. I have to thank my wife, Sage the Dragon, for these cards that she created. And I've shuffled them, by the way. I'm just on a pre-shuffle anyway. And I'm now going to just pick one. Just intuitively pick one. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a message from your higher self. A message from your higher self. Beautiful. Let's see what's going on. All right. I know I've said this again. Well, I know I've said this, but I'm going to say it again if it resonates. I hope it helps. If not, send it back to the universe. Energy is fluid. We keep on shining and we stay rising. So let's see what's happening. So this is a message from your higher self. So let's see what they're seeing. You know, because they're going to see something that you don't. And I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with you with that. All right? I hope everybody's okay. Like, I'm feeling, and I must confess, I had a 2-hour nap earlier today. And have you ever felt like a new you, like a new person after having such a lovely nap? I mean, I won't be able to sleep tonight, but that's absolutely fine. I mean, I've with those type of naps, I feel like I've rested. And there are certain times when I've had like 7 to 8 hours sleep and I feel tired. But no, I feel absolutely brand spanking new, and I'm gonna send a shout out again to my wife, is because when I was just laying down, I was just like chilling, but next minute she was there, I went to sleep. But yeah, anyway, I digress. The message from your higher self. All right. I call this a Sorcerer Shuffle. There we go. One more. Okay. Let's see what your higher self. Okay. Interesting. Wow. It makes a lot of sense. Okay. So this person, your higher self, right? Message from your higher self. They're looking out for you. They were definitely looking out for you. And it's kind of like they had to referee a situation in your life where, okay, right. So a message from your higher self. So they orchestrated a time where you needed to walk away. So you got the 8 of Cups followed by the 2 of Cups, and they orchestrated a time in your life where you had to walk away from a situation, if I'm being really specific here, from a relationship, you know. And the reason why they had to do that, and why they've like cut the cord from the 2 of Swords over there, was because it was a it's like a be careful what you wish for moment. You know, you pray for rain, you gotta be ready for the mud that meets you. So it was a time in your life where you felt personally that, you know, this person might have been, you know, highly desired in your eyes due to a due to their charm, physical appearance. You know, perhaps if it was just straight up lust and attraction, or it was a connection that became really toxic. And this is a time where they've decided to help you, the divine intervention where they cut the cord. You know, and the reason why they did this is because they wanted you to have your power back. And this is from, and that's the truth of the matter with the strength card, and you've got the Queen of Swords for your advice. You know, you weren't living the truth that you were, you know, in your current pathway. You weren't living a truth at all, right? And they decided to cut ties, or they wanted you to just cut ties and walk away from the situation before it would get even more toxic. And you know what? It's a time in your life where you needed to, because it felt like, you know, with the strength card, you needed to find your own strength. You know, you needed to find the courage. And it was more so that messages I'm getting right now is like your higher self is saying, you knew. You knew what the writing was on the wall. But if I didn't like orchestrate this, you would have been in this cycle, this karmic cycle, and it's about you, him or her, cutting that cord, you know, and saying, you know, it's time for you to retreat back. You know, you're moving away, but you're creating like a whole move, and that's basically for you to retreat, to move and retreat back into a place of refuge. Perhaps it was just a family home, friends might have been living with this person at this time, and you're just saying, you know what, I need to basically retreat and go back and start again, and that's absolutely fine. Because at the end of the day, it's about you understanding that, you know, if it becomes toxic, you know, it can only go one way. It can only go worse if it's really that bad, you know. But also, if you saw the writings on the wall, you know, you don't want to prolong, you know, your relationship with that significant person, because it's just going to end badly at the end of the day. You know, why wait? You know, why wait until, you know, you've completely and utterly sank? You know, you have a choice to basically say enough. I can go, right? And I'm gonna make the decision to. And it was your higher self that made that decision to. And you've got the Tower in reverse, and you've got the Knight of Pentacles for your advice. And with both cards, it's a case of you saying, you know, it's not a complete and utter like change that you need to do. It's more now it's a revamp, because your higher self basically knows your goal. You know, your higher self basically wants you to essentially follow your destiny. And that would have completely, you know, changed your timeline if you didn't. You know, that's why that your higher self has completely changed and changed and intervened in the situation, because it highlights that you've got your own destiny to fulfill. And if you don't, you would have changed your timeline. So that's the main reason. You've got the King of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the King of Pentacles as your advice. And it's just basically, for me, my intuition is saying you're taking the backward step of your social life, your partying life, or even just basically, um, you know, just taking yourself out of out of the position of socializing in the meantime. Perhaps you've deleted this person on social media. Perhaps you've even put yourself on temporary like private mode, or you've temporarily like closed your account just because right now it's not the right time to do so, to go out there and be a social butterfly. It's about you healing, self-care, and looking after yourself. And the advice is basically, rather than looking at the King of Pentacles from a socialistic point of view, it's all about you looking at the King of Pentacles from a rational point of view. And with the King of Pentacles, you know, it's no confident. I mean, it's no coincidence that the King of Pentacles is somebody that is a social butterfly, likes to party, but behind the scenes, you know, he has all of his stuff put together. There's no point of you going out if you don't have your stuff together. So your finances, you know, your mental state, your work, you know, your work to life balance, your health. And it's all about you looking from a position of power, but behind the scenes before you get out, you know, in front of the world, and be ready to basically say, I'm going to propel and just become the social butterfly. It's about you at the moment is being able to look at the mechanics within yourself and basically just keep on going. Now, you got the Chariot, you know, for your next card, right? And your advice is the 5 of Cups. And it's for you to basically keep on walking and have this new fund of purpose. You know, the Chariot's about tunnel vision. It's about you looking. It doesn't matter we're left or right. All roads will lead to your happiness. But it's about changing that perception, which is the 5 of Cups. You know, you can look at it from a glass is half empty or a glass is half full. But it's really and truly your perception of how you see things. And at the end of the day, my advice to you is like, you'll keep going, but you have a choice. Would you rather keep going from a time in your life where you're more, you know, what's the word? You have a type of optimism in your life rather than pessimism. You have that choice. You have that choice. And the message from your higher self is saying, you know, it's about you being you know, not pessimistic, you know, it's about you being optimistic, because this will land to your long-term goals, right? And you've got the Page of Wands, and for your next card, and you've got the Emperor, which is your advice. And I see your higher self basically being the referee in your life at the moment. You know, it's kind of like you and your higher self and your inner child. It's all a union. It's like a union, you know, work union. If you're not happy, they're going to make a decision, and they had to referee you during this time because they saw you that things would have turned left if they didn't do anything. And it's a case of you just dropping your ego with the Page of Wands, you know, because when you think about the past and you think about the future, this is all to do with the ego, the mind of your ego, you know, that time when you keep looking left and right, where you have to look within, which is the present moment. And that's what the message from your higher self is telling you. It's about your present moment as it is. Right. The next card is the Ace of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles as your advice. And the card what I'm getting here is this. It's all about you starting afresh, you know, and with this freshness that you got, use creative ways to L you and aid you during this time. It's about you looking, you know, the Queen of Pentacles is a very resourceful queen. She looks at everything, at every angle, you know, emotionally and rationally. And it's about you having the sense of just taking a more proactive approach with dealing with such an issue in, you know, during a breakup, for example. And It's about you. Maybe I'm going to say this. A lot of people that I know, and it helps them a lot, is talking. Not just talking, but journaling. And not just journaling, but, the advice that I'm getting from this situation is, finding ways to express yourself. That is the main goal. That is what you should be doing. And that's something that I highly recommend you doing anyway. So it's a case of you finding that creativeness, that spark, that energy, and it will come. It'll come. When you look at Adele, look at Taylor Swift, look at Bruno Mars, look at Ed Sheeran. There's a time in their life when they were sad and they used inspiration. Not even just artists, but if we're talking about sports stars, you find a drive. And that's what your inner self, your higher self, is basically telling you to look within. Look within yourself and you'll be able to find the answers. And that's how and you'll find a way to express it. Just take the proactive approach. And do you know what? The one beautiful card I like about this is the next card, the Magician. You got the Magician with the advice of the Two of Wands. And it's all about your intentions of manifesting now. The Magician, as you can see, is about a person with a wand pointing up to the universe. The power that he has with the pentacles, the cups, the swords, and the wand, it's the element of him being fluid. Excuse me, it's my eye. But yeah, it's a case of him being really fluid during this time. It's just letting go and just manifesting, pointing up to the universe and asking what you want, even if you're not spiritual, if you're religious, right? It's about you having your prayers, and it's just the symbolism of you manifesting these things. And the symbolism I get from the Two of Pentacles is when you have the intent, right, of manifesting, you can bend reality through manifesting. But it starts from within. When you have that knowing, you have the world in your hands. You become the universe, Yes, you become the universe. I have to say that again. And this is what I love. You've got the Death card followed by the Seven of Cups. And it's about you closing the chapter over the situation. I think you're going to see clarity, one of the reasons why you had to leave in the first place. And all the smoke screen's going to be gone. Like, at the end of the day, way I see it is that this new chapter that you have right now is a door that you've closed, because you've come to the realization that perhaps this person that you had was gaslighting you. Perhaps this person lied to you. Perhaps this person did physical foul play. And I'm talking about illicit relationships, abuse, but it's you having all of those cups at that time and you having that realization, aha, that's the main reason. And your main reasons why you left, and you have many reasons, but you have one for you that's like definitive, that was the one that definitively needed you. You had to cut that cord, and that was it. And it's you to use that, as I said, with the Ace of Wands, for you to start not the ending but the beginning of your new chapter in your life. And your final card is the Queen of Swords, followed by the King of Cups. It's about you being your most authentic self and being true to yourself. And the message of your higher self was that they wanted you to unearth, what you really wanted. And you didn't want to be in this relationship. You just needed a intervention from the divine to say enough's enough. I've had enough. This is not where I want to be. The end of the day, I had to use that Queen of Swords, which is the truth. That's the sword of the Queen of Swords, which is the truth, to cut it down and for you to go forwards and and be the Chariot energy as you are, for you to start a new chapter. It's about, with the King of Cups, about you being more in control of your emotions and not feeling that you're going to pour old energy into your new life, but I see it more you being in control. You know, this was a time that was a wish fulfillment, but as I said, it it comes to a place where, you know, what you've hoped for isn't what you needed. What you wanted is what you not was what you wanted is not what you actually needed. What you needed was you to basically be your most authentic self. You needed to become your most authentic self, and that previous relationship that you had wasn't going to be a part of your new authenticity. Excuse me. I'm getting a bit tongue twisted. I think I'm getting a lot of downloads from Source anyway. But yeah, it's about you being your most authentic self, and you wouldn't be able to do that in your, you know, previous relationship. You found your truth, and the truth is that, you know, you're going to gain strength within this situation. You know, and I tell you what, your higher self was just only illuminating what you felt inside of you. They just needed, no, they wanted to give you that push. So, you know, good reading, because there's definitely a light that was needed to be shone within you, and your higher self saw that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I go by the name of the Sorcerer. Love, peace, and light. Peace.
Sorcerer.